Welcome to Amp Life, the #1 podcast for amputees, hosted by an amputee, and brought to you by Delatory Orthotics and Prosthetics, located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm the Brian Moe, the social media advisor for Delatory, and I also happen to be a below-knee amputee. Let's get into today's episode. How's it going, everyone? My guest today is Navy veteran, handcycle competitor, and above-knee amputee. Tom, welcome to Amp Life.
Thank you.
Sure. How you doing today, Tom?
Pretty good.
First, I want to thank you for your service to our country. And I understand that you were in the Navy and served during the Korean War. How many years did you serve in the Navy?
Vietnam War.
Vietnam
Korean
War.
War. Ain't that old.
Not that old.
Korean War is 1950.
Don't believe anything you read on Google.
No.
Yeah, I was Googling, and that's what came up. So you were in Vietnam.
Vietnam War.
Okay. So how many years were you in the Navy altogether?
6 years.
6 years. Okay. Did you do that out of high school or?
Right out of high school.
Right out of high school. Okay. We just I asked you a little bit before we started, but how did your journey begin as an amputee?
I was going to work on Sunday morning on a motorcycle. Stopped at a red light, and when the light turned green, guy in the other lane made a left-hand turn.
Oh, jeez.
Ran me over.
Wow. Tell me about the impact that becoming an amputee has had on your life.
At the time, 18 years ago when I got run over, my kids were small. So the goals were that this would never hold them back at anything they wanted to do.
Okay.
My son raced, so we continued to race.
Okay.
No matter whether I had a leg on or not.
Nice.
My daughter competed in athletics.
Okay.
And traveling softball teams and stuff. And
Nice.
I was convinced that amputee or non-amputee, that wasn't going to affect their lives growing up.
Okay, sure. You mentioned your family and your children. Did becoming an amputee have any negative impact on your life with regard to your relationship to friends or coworkers or anything like that?
At the very beginning, it did. Then after a while, just normal acceptance.
Okay. How long was your recovery?
I was below knee amputee
Okay.
for 3 months, and then it would never heal. So then I went back in and went to above knee amputee. Was healed within a month. I got a leg. I walked within a month, and I went back to work 2 months later.
Wow, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. You mentioned that you were involved in a motorcycle accident. Someone hit you while you're on your motorcycle. What's something that you wish that the general public understood about being on the road with people on motorcycles that they don't?
Just be aware of where we're at. You know, he told the judge that he got tired of waiting.
Oh, jeez. That's a horrible excuse for hitting anyone. Oh, my goodness. Wow. What are some of the biggest challenges you faced?
Biggest challenges is stability, balance and stability.
Okay.
Confidence in the leg.
Okay, yeah. Did you go through a lot of physical therapy? Or did you just kind of pick things up on your own?
I did physical therapy, and then I did above and beyond on my own.
Okay. Now, I know that you're involved in hand cycling. When did that begin?
I had a stroke 3 years ago,
Okay.
so I never did any kind of exercise.
Okay.
So my wife signed us up for a gym, and we were in the gym for about an hour, and we left. I just couldn't be a gym rat.
Yeah.
So I tried riding a regular 2-wheel pedal bike and didn't really like it. Wasn't comfortable
Okay.
with the shell and all the stuff.
Right.
Then a friend of mine is paralyzed in a wheelchair and rides a hand cycle.
Okay.
So I would borrow his, take it back, borrow it. Then I just went and bought my own.
Okay.
And I've upgraded 3 times since then.
Sure. I saw a video this morning. You do some racing on your hand cycle. How long have you been competitive with it?
The last 2 years doing marathons.
Nice.
Part of Achilles is anybody with any disability that wants to compete in the mainstream.
Okay.
And most of it's marathons and different things.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I actually saw they had sent some people. One of their chapters sent some people up to Boston
Yes.
on Monday for the marathon. So
And,
when I saw that you were part of the Pittsburgh chapter, I knew I'd recognize that name from then. How did you come to be a patient with De La Torre?
shopping around.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I visited all three. Went back around, met Drew, liked Drew. I've been with Drew since like 01.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's he's very likable. That when I lost my leg, I was living in Ohio, and when I came back, I thought I had great service there. And when I came back, I was like, what am I going to do? So I just reached out, and I knew I didn't want to go to the company you mentioned, and I wasn't impressed with the website of the other company, and so I emailed De La Torre, and Drew called me, and we talked, and I said that's where I want to go. So when I went to see Dr. Munit at UPMC, he said, "You know where you want to go?" I said, "Yes, De La Torre." So yeah, Drew's. They can thank Drew probably for a lot of the business that they get here. Looking back on your journey, anything you would change or do differently?
Get a better leg sooner. Yeah, I walked with a mock knee and different feet for probably first 6 or 7 years
Okay.
before I got a sea leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you like the sea leg?
I like it a lot. I mean, that's what I'm in the process of getting my retirement leg.
Okay.
My retirement leg being I'm retiring this year.
Yeah, right.
So I got to get it while I still got good health insurance.
Sure. Absolutely. Has the sea leg changed to what you're able to do you think?
Yeah, it changes your confidence level. And
Okay.
a lot of people think the sea leg helps you walk. It doesn't help you walk. It helps you with stumble recovery.
Okay.
It helps you with not fall down.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. What have you learned about yourself since becoming an amputee?
Just more determined.
Okay.
More. Yeah.
Okay. What has motivated you through all this to keep going, to keep pushing? Early on, you talked about, you didn't want to disrupt your kids' lives and you wanted them to stay active in the things they were able to do, whether you had a leg or not. But what's motivated you beyond that to keep going?
Just life with my wife. My kids are grown and out of the house now. Like different stuff. I do amputee support groups.
Okay.
I do Camp Star with the young amputees.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about Camp Star. I'm not real familiar with that.
Camp Star is a 1 week Saturday to Saturday camp for kids with amputations and limb difference.
Okay.
To be politically correct these days.
Sure, absolutely.
It's up at the YMCA camp in Zillinople.
Okay.
Camp Quantico.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the year, so there's no other campers there.
Okay.
There's no finger pointing. There's no gossiping or anything else
Sure.
with any other campers. The kids really get to be around other kids, learn a lot of stuff. They all, see them growing up over the week,
Right.
over the years, over the stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right, very nice. In what way do you hope that your story will help other people?
Again, if they're starting out, they're in a chair. There's not a lot of good information out there. Not a lot of timely information either.
Sure.
And times that they might not think that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
No.
There is. I mean, I go to support group meetings and talk to people, and a lot of them are convinced that they're not getting out of that chair, and that they are.
Right. Yeah. I think a lot of people fail to realize that it's a long process sometimes for some people. I was in the nursing home 7 months after my amputation due to infections and revisions and all that stuff, and so it's I think for a while I probably felt that way. And now I sit here and I'm like, that's just like so long ago.
That was right.
And so you keep pushing. I saw this morning, one of the things I ask everybody that I talk to, I saw this morning someone was like, well, I may not be here much longer. And I'm thinking, uh-oh, what's this about? Well, then they kind of use the frame of reference of, maybe taking their life or doing something stupid like that because they don't see that. And I sometimes wonder if there's not enough support throughout the country. It's nobody that's local, but throughout our country for amputees, like there are for other things. You mentioned going to support groups. How has that helped you?
I'm just a source of information for all these people.
Okay.
I do 2 support groups, one in Harmerville.
Okay.
Most everybody up there is brand new.
Okay.
They're fresh out of surgery.
Oh, wow.
Some
Okay.
don't even have a leg yet.
Okay.
They don't know anything about being an amputee.
Okay.
They don't know anything about a prosthetic leg. So everything's all new and all, most asked question up there is, "Can I watch you walk?" They've never seen anybody with a prosthetic before.
Okay.
Southside is amputee meeting is people that are 3, 5, 10 years out.
Okay.
People that want to change legs, want to upgrade. They may have got a low rating and insurance got them a bargain basement leg.
Right.
And they're now active enough. They want to get a better leg.
Okay.
How do they go about it? What do they got to do?
Sure. Okay. That makes sense. What's something you wish the general public understood about amputees?
Never really thought about that.
Have you ever been treated any differently since becoming an amputee by people in the general public?
I mean, yeah, people will let you go first. Or everybody wants to give you a seat.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of times, sitting isn't helping either.
Right. Okay.
I tell everybody, everything's comfortable for 15 minutes.
Sure.
Sit for 15 minutes, stand for 15 minutes, go move for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, you got to move.
What other kinds of things are you involved in? You mentioned Camp Star, and I know with the hand cycling and the support groups. What other things do you keep yourself busy with?
Me and my son still race.
Okay. What kind of racing?
We do drag racing.
Oh, wow.
Straight line, quarter mile drag racing.
Nice.
Where we have very, very small attention span. We want to know who wins within 9 seconds or faster.
Right. Definitely my kind of racing on that. Have you found that since getting a prosthetic and becoming active that you've been able to do more or have a desire to do more than even before you lost your leg?
Yeah. I mean, the more active you are, the more in shape you are, the easier everything else is. The easier it is transferring in the bathroom, out of bed, in the kitchen. The better shape that you're in,
Sure.
the rest of your life gets easier too.
Okay. You mentioned getting a retirement leg because you plan on retiring soon and you want to get, while you have the better insurance to do that. What kind of changes do you think are needed for amputees when it comes to insurance?
As far as how insurance companies view prosthetics.
Okay.
Every insurance company got a different rule.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody got a different durable medical policy, medical device policy.
Right.
Instead of things being standardized, it's it's pretty haphazard for who gets what.
Right. Absolutely. I always wish that they had to have some kind of mandatory training on how prosthetics work, and a lot of these insurance companies don't understand about needing a new socket or why we need a new foot or a new component or whatever the case may be. And I recently got a new foot, and I only had my other foot 6 months, and the doctor's like, they're never going to approve this foot. And I'm like, yes, they will. Here's why. And so we went through and proved medical necessity. But the hoops that I think the amputees have to jump through, I think sometimes it's very difficult for us.
And then there's a real lack of information on how to jump through them hoops.
Absolutely.
There's no advocacy for the person that doesn't know how to jump through them hoops.
Right.
If you're really not your own advocate, you don't have one.
Absolutely. And I think you're right, because so many times I see people, I was denied, what do I do? Well, what you do may depend on who your insurance company is.
Right.
Because there's no, as you said, there's no standard. Every insurance company kind of does their own thing. I'm very fortunate. I tell them here all the time that I'm an anomaly because I have 3 different insurances. So I said, if someone doesn't pay for it, just go to the next. But I understand that most amputees don't have that. So I feel very fortunate in that way. But I think you're right. I think that having someone there to advocate for them, to help them through that process, because even if they end up with a social worker, they don't know either unless they're an amputee, and we don't see that very often at all. What's some of the advice you would give to an amputee, someone who's out there, and one of the things, I'm on Facebook a lot, and I look at these amputee groups on Facebook, and there's just a ton of negativity. And some days I just have to walk away from it all, because as much as you want to help people, I don't want to feed myself that daily dose of negativity. But what advice would you give an amputee that's sitting there struggling, wondering, is it ever going to get better? How do I make it better?
They gotta get out and get around other amputees that are actually doing stuff. Get out and go to the amputee support groups, meet other people that are in the same thing.
Sure.
Get out and go to some kind of exercise event. Go ride bikes, go golf, go bowling. There's a lot of nonprofits in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
That have all the adaptive equipment. You don't have to go spend $5,000 on a handcycle
Oh, wow.
to go ride.
Okay.
There are companies that already have them.
Okay.
They have events throughout the summer. You email or call them, and they bring it to a parking lot. You go to that parking lot, and you try out the handcycle and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Not everybody can go down to the bank and say, hey, I want to buy a $5,000 handcycle.
Right.
But, I mean, there's people that ride the borrowed handcycles all year long.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to have a lot of money to go out and get exercise.
Okay.
There's adaptive paddling.
Oh, wow.
Adaptive, guy in Pittsburgh, Dynamic Paddlers. He does kayaks and stuff.
Okay.
Paralyzed, amputees, spina bifida, everything. There's a way to adapt that for everybody.
And that's good information to know, because I've lived here all my life for the most part, and I didn't even know that was available.
Yeah,
so that's good to know. Because I know a lot of amputees they're looking for, they want to do things, and they don't know what they can do or what's available.
It's more of what I said before. Either no information or bad information, or information at the wrong time.
Sure.
People go, oh, that would have been great to know a year ago.
Right. Absolutely.
After they struggled for a year.
Right.
And didn't know what to do.
Right. Well, I know
we should have a better handout to give everybody.
Absolutely.
This is what it takes from start to finish. This is what's available to you.
Yeah. I know a couple of years ago, I don't know if it might have been Autobot, could have been Oster. I get everybody confused. There's so many companies, but they had like a running mobility clinic in Pittsburgh.
I just did Osher's one last September.
Okay, that's the one I'm talking about. And I didn't know until after the event had happened, and I'm like, why was this not everywhere for amputees? Because I go to the amputee clinic at UPMC to see the doctor. Why are they not putting? So you're right. I think that's something that amputees in this area need to work on, getting information out.
I mean, just this stuff being on Facebook in the last month. That's the first time something's been on Facebook in Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow.
Amputees.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm 62, so I don't do Facebook.
Right.
But a lot of people, other people do Facebook and everything else.
Right.
They live with a phone in their hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My father-in-law's 72, and he just got on Facebook first time, and over Easter I was trying to show him how to navigate, and it's not going to go well. But so I kind of, to that end, I know. But yeah, I do. I live on there too much, I think. One of the things Drew mentioned to me that you're going this Friday to Harmerville. They still call it Harmerville.
It's Harmerville. Health South. Harmerville at Health South at Harmerville.
Okay.
Is the real title.
Okay, and they're going to have students in, the PT students in.
They have 4 training sessions a year.
Okay.
With all the different colleges, with Pitt, Duquesne, Slippery Rock, and Chatham.
Okay.
Either the physical therapy kids.
Okay.
Or the kids that are going to college to be prostitutes.
Okay.
We're called patient educators.
Sure.
They get assigned, a group of kids gets assigned to each amputee.
Okay.
they got to do an evaluation of you like you were a brand new patient.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're learning their tricks of their trade, and then we're there after a thing. Now we're there to teach them.
Okay, sure.
In different things.
Okay.
And at the end, each group has to go around and do a 5-minute. This was my patient, Tom. And then we walk and do different things. And
nice.
What would be their if it's a new amputee, how they were going to help them. If somebody like me with 18 years of bad habits, you're not fixing me.
Sure.
You're not fixing me in 15 minutes either.
Right.
But it's a good opportunity for them to actually work with patients before they finish their degree.
Okay,
they have a better idea of, this is what I want to do. This is,
Okay, absolutely. Have you ever went to any of the amputee walking schools that they do?
With the two?
With Dennis and Todd?
Yes.
Okay.
They're always doing a day, and I work.
Oh, you'll be retired soon, so there you go.
I'm retiring at the beach or the racetrack.
The beach or the racetrack. That's pretty funny right there. I retired when I was 35 just because I'd made some good investments and I had the opportunity. I was a pastor and they said, hey, we'll give you credit for 20 years because I went out on disability retirement. So I didn't get to do either of those things. And I wasn't the billionaire. When you're a kid, I'm going to be a billionaire and retire young. And it didn't work out that way, but that's all right. I think that for amputees, I think one of the things, that I've learned from you today is we need to get information out to people because there's a world of people that don't seem to know. And I think sometimes that kind of, not to maybe coin a phrase, but I think sometimes that's really what handicaps people is not that they lose a limb, but that they just don't know.
Right. They don't know what steps are next, where to go, how. I meet people. I get called. I'm a amputee peer visitor.
Okay.
From Amputee Coalition trained peer visitor.
Sure.
I get called from people that are sitting on our couch waiting for somebody to call them.
Wow.
You go, do you understand that doesn't happen?
Yeah. Wow.
Here's what you need to do. Here's what you need.
Sure.
And either no information, bad information, or untimely information.
Tell them to stay off Google because it apparently gives you wrong information about the branch of service people are in.
I was in the Navy, but I was not in a Korean War. That my father was.
Okay.
And that's where that may have come from. But
yeah, right. Okay. Tom, it's been a pleasure talking with you today. I appreciate you taking time out of your day and joining me here on Amp Life. It's been fun.
All right.
I learned a lot. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
You've been listening to Amp Life, the #1 podcast for amputees, hosted by an amputee, and brought to you by Dilatory Orthotics and Prosthetics, located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If you enjoyed today's episode, leave us a review on iTunes or give us a like on Facebook. I'm the Brian Moe. I invite you to visit our website, www.amplifepodcast.com, or check us out on Facebook at Amp Life Podcast.